So PlatinumLED have just announced a brand new red light therapy panel product range. They're calling this the Biomax PRO. There are 4 sizes. I'm going to share all the features you need to know. And in the second half of this video, I'll also share my thoughts, feedback, and impressions. A quick disclaimer, I am affiliated with PlatinumLED, so if you make an order through the links, I get a commission and you save. Okay, so what do we need to know? Like I said, it's called the Biomax Pro line. Apparently it's been 18 months in the making. They've totally re-engineered not only the internals, but the actual case as well. It's been rebuilt from the ground up. And this means they're able to put 30% more LEDs in a case of the same size as the previous Biomax range, while at the same time increasing the power output from these LEDs by 19%. They're using what they call a new zero gap design. This means the LEDs go right up to the edge of the panel, meaning when you link multiple panels together, there is no gap. The Biomax Pro line now allows individual power output control of every single wavelength, rather than just changing the red and the near infrareds. Surprisingly, they've also enabled pulsing, so you can pulse the lights from 1 Hz through to 10,000, or of course, disable pulsing. And PlatinumLED are also including preset smart modes in this new range. There is a deep tissue mode, an anti-aging mode, a sleep mode, a skin repair mode, a workout mode, and a mood/wellness mode. Each mode adjusts the power output to different wavelengths and also the session time. There's a new and improved remote, which also includes shortcuts to each of these modes. And as you can see, the new panels are black. Previously, the Biomax panels have always been white. And the panels are actually a lot thicker and heavier than the previous Biomax panels. Now, there are 4 panels in the new Biomax Pro range. The smallest is the Nano with 144 LEDs, and this is priced at $799. Then we have the MIDI at 216 LEDs, priced at $999. Then the Grande at 288 LEDs, priced at $1,299. And then finally the Ultra with 432 LEDs, priced at $1,599 US. Now, I do need to mention you can save 5% on all of these prices if you place an order using the links down below. So along with all of these new features, it also keeps a few of the existing Biomax features. The Pro range uses the same 7 wavelengths and at the same ratios. So the bulk of the power is going to your 660 and 850 nanometer wavelengths, but you're also getting a little bit of 630, 810, 830, 1060 nanometers, and also the blue light. The Pro panels contain the modular capability, including wireless sync. The app remains compatible, and the new panels include the voice recognition software. Finally, it uses the same control screen, though of course there are a few more options in this new line. Oh, and actually the old stands are also compatible with the new Pro stands, but you can't control the old ones and the new ones with the same remotes. I think that's it. Oh, actually there's one other thing I need to mention. There are 2 power modes on these new panels. There's the high power in solo mode and then a lower powered mode in the connected mode. This is because these panels draw such a high load that when you connect multiple panels together, it can trip the circuit. Now, I will be doing a review on these panels very, very soon, so be sure to subscribe to be notified when that goes live. And in that review, I will be testing the differences between the high power mode and the low power mode. And by the way, hit the like button as well. I do appreciate it. Okay, so that's everything. What's my take on it? Well, PlatinumLED have been known to be innovators in the red light therapy panel space. Over the years, they've always come out with crazy cool features. They were the first to include wavelengths outside of the 660 and 850 nanometer range. They were the first to have a nice sleek touchscreen control panel. They were the first to put blue light in their panels, the first to include wireless connectivity. I could go on. So let's just stop and think for a minute. Does this new Biomax Pro line continue with their market-leading innovation? Well, if you ask PlatinumLED, they're going to say yes, this is what they regard as the best panel on the market. Apparently, there's some amazing engineering that has gone into this panel, and in turn, you're getting more LEDs, no gaps, and a lot more power. So yes, I guess one would say that is an innovation, and no doubt we'll see companies copying this trend. Companies pushing their LEDs right to the edge and reverse engineering what PlatinumLED have done to increase the power output in their panels. But for you and I, the consumer, it's really up for debate whether these extra features are truly revolutionary. Let's talk about power first. I've actually covered this in the past, saying I think we're at a point where red light therapy panels are putting out more than enough energy. For years, Biomax panels have been the most powerful panel, and now with the 20% power increase, they've cemented this for another year or two, no doubt. But a lot of the conditions people use red light therapy panels for don't require this excessive energy. The high energy output is more suited to deep tissue issues such as treating joints or maybe the brain. And this is where you see smaller targeted devices such as a handheld laser or the Chroma Iron Forge, for instance. But one could argue that more power means a shorter treatment time. And yes, there is some logic to this, but at the same time, we know from the research that compressing all this energy into a short window may actually not lead to the same results as spreading that energy out over a longer time. If you look at some of the world's leading red light therapy medical beds, for instance, such as the Novathor, they're only putting out about 20 to 30 milliwatts. Now, if this new range is really 20% higher, this panel is going to be putting out about 120 milliwatts at 6 inches. It's a lot of energy. Still, I guess the argument is the same as buying a fast car. No one really needs a super fast car, but there can be times when it's useful. So hey, if you do want a lot of power in a panel, then you're going to love the new Biomax Pro range. Of course, for those who don't want all of that power, you can simply reduce the power output on the controller. So maybe it's a moot point. The new zero gap design is quite interesting, and I do like this because often I've commented how there is a big gap when you combine 4 Biomax panels together. Now, what's interesting is a lot of companies have solved this issues by selling large body panels. Just look at the Block Blue Light Elite or Ultimate XXL panel, for instance. But PlatinumLED have decided this path wasn't for them, and instead they want to stick with the modular designs, and so the zero gap design makes perfect sense. It's also good if you can't afford a large body panel and just want to slowly build that array over 6 months or a year or two. You get one panel, a few months later, you get a second one. So yes, I think this is a good feature. Is it absolutely game-changing? No. What about all the new operation features? Well, firstly, now you can change the power output to individual wavelengths. This is an improvement on the previous Biomax, which grouped all the red light and the near-infrared lights together. So it is nice to see this, and it is a simple add-on, though again, rival companies have been offering this for over a year now. The introduction of pulsing was a very big surprise, as I know in the past, PlatinumLED have said they don't believe that pulsing provides any benefit, and pulsing has been found in panels for about 6 or 7 years now. So it's definitely nothing new, but I guess it was easy to implement and customers were asking for it. The preset smart modes, also, this has been around for nearly 18 months now. PlatinumLED are probably the 5th or 6th big company to introduce these modes. I think they are good because as end users, it is simple, makes things easier. However, I always wonder how reliable, how accurate, how credible these smart modes are. The new black design is interesting. I mean, I think it looks nicer than the white panels. I guess this is very subjective though, right? As for the new naming system, look, I think this is a welcome change, especially because it still does a good job of clarifying where the panel sits in the range. The numbers always got a little bit confusing, and companies would compare a Biomax 900 with, say, a Roho 900, but maybe they were completely different classes. Now, the new line is a lot more expensive than the older Biomax range, though at the same time, you are getting more LEDs and of course more power. So when I do my reviews, I'll be sure to crunch the numbers and feed all information into my shopping tool. Check that out if you haven't, it is very useful. Link is down below. And we'll be able to compare things such as dollar per LED and dollar per therapeutic power output. To be honest, there are 2 things that I am disappointed didn't change. Firstly, the wavelength blend. Okay, we've still got 7 wavelengths, which is up there. I mean, the Rouge G4 panel has 8 wavelengths, but 7 is still amazing. However, PlatinumLED have sent their panels off for independent testing, and you can see on screen the breakdown of these wavelengths. As you can see, most of that light is going to 660 and 850. We've known this in the past, but what we didn't really know was how little power was actually going to the 1060 and the blue light. When I found this out, I was rather disappointed because, yeah, you're not really going to get much exposure to these wavelengths. And this new Biomax Pro range uses exactly the same wavelength ratio, meaning even though there's 7 wavelengths, there's not a lot of light going to majority of these wavelengths. I think this new Pro range was a great opportunity for them to change this. So yeah, I am let down there. The second thing I'm disappointed in is they haven't started using dual chip LEDs. Now, PlatinumLED have been very vocal about this, saying you don't need it and they're underpowered. But in my testing, I've seen some very powerful dual, triple, even quadruple chip LEDs. The upside, of course, is you get a much more even blend of light. Still, saying all of this, myself and thousands of others have had extraordinary results using the Biomax panels over the years, even despite these so-called downsides. So maybe I'm just being a little bit too picky because, hey, here we have a new panel from a company that's been around for nearly 10 years. The panel has more LEDs, it has more power, and it has some new features in it. So really, I guess you can't really complain. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment down below. I'm really excited to hear what people think about this new range. And again, be sure to subscribe because I will be releasing not only a review of these new panels, but also some comparisons to the old Biomax and some of their top competitors in the market today.